All right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Just kind of reflect on what we talked about. We had our WWE Monday Night Raw review. We also had our WWE NXT preview. And we talked a little bit about Las Vegas sports. WrestleMania 41 is going to be at Allegiant Stadium. Pretty exciting. Mentioned some events that took place in Las Vegas. Honestly, love that Las Vegas is kind of becoming more sports friendly. I know for the longest time they didn't want to introduce anything in terms of sports in Las Vegas. I know it's crazy. I read this online that Las Vegas they were they were forbidden. They were forbidden for having any Super Bowl commercials happen during last Super Bowl because the NFL didn't want their fans to like see like betting, it's gambling references and stuff like that, which is pretty crazy because they like I said, they have spas. They also have I think there's like golf stuff. There's a lot of shows and stuff like that. I thought that was insane. But then again, you kind of have to protect your audience and your superstars because I can imagine there was that guy from the NBA who got banned for basically betting on himself, and you can do that. That's the whole scandal with Shohei Ohtani going on right now. But this is a sports entertainment podcast. We're focusing on wrestling. If you want to hear all the hottest takes in sports, we have Jeremy. We also have TJ, and the list goes on and on and on. You can hit them up. Amazing podcasters. Definitely can learn a lot from them, and it's free. So okay. Anyways, moving on. So we're going to talk about our Tuesdays today in wrestling. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and get this. Let's get this through. We have WWE NXT to watch. Excited. So let's go ahead and start off today in wrestling history. We have Scott Hall. Scott Hall, or Razor Ramon, he was actually released from the WWE, and it was stated that after a flight back home from the UK, he showed a pattern of unprofessional behavior. So ultimately, he was let go by the WWE. Ultimately, back 2002. After Invasion, after really honestly, Scott Hall really had nowhere to go. I think, and don't quote me on this, I think I might have seen him go to TNA Wrestling after this happened. I think that was a little along the lines of like 2004 or six. Like I said, don't quote me on that. I definitely got to do a little more research about that. So, definitely that happened today. What also happened today was in 2005, Ring of Honor held its first ever event in New York City called Manhattan Mayhem. You saw the Rottweilers, which consist of Homicide and Low Key, defeating Samoa Joe and Jay Lethal. Earlier in the pay per view, you saw Samoa Joe defeat Jay Lethal with the win of the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. You also saw Austin Aries retain the Ring of Honor World Championship against Alex Shelley. So it's so crazy, like. Oh my God, look how young Austin Aries looks. Like that just trips me out, bro. That just trips me out. All right. And then in 2017, it was reported that The Undertaker suffered some muscle tears that happened the week prior, leading for him to take time off and, for physical rehab and stuff like that. Therefore, WWE put Edge in a match against the Money in the Bank winner, Ken Kennedy. And kind of sad, kind of crazy. But Edge won in, I think, 10 seconds. Edge beat him in 10 seconds. I don't know why you wouldn't have Ken Kennedy go in there and cash it in. I know. And this honestly kind of started the whole Rated R Superstar era as as the World Heavyweight Champion. You know what I mean? Like, he cashed it against The Undertaker. Like, who beats The Undertaker? Like, that's crazy. Absolutely insane. But Edge, what is it? The ultimate opportunistic, like, ultimate opportunistic of opportunity. I know I'm saying that wrong, and I apologize. But well, I think that this definitely helped Edge in his career of becoming a legendary person, and definitely helping his career. Obviously, he's in AEW now. No, I'm not throwing stones or anything like that. I hope Adam Copeland's doing really, really well. But ultimately, the only reason why he really kind of got it was The Undertaker kind of got injured. I'm sure they were probably going to push him. I'm sure they would probably have pushed him, but man, 10 seconds. Really? Ken Kennedy's gonna lose his money? Yeah, okay, that's 2007 talk, guys. What are you talking about? Let's move on from this. Let's move on from this. Today in 1989, the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, held its Wrestling War 89. The main event showed Ric Flair winning the NWA Heavyweight Championship from Ricky, the Steamboat Dragon. I thought that was pretty cool. Also, Michael Hayes defeated Lex Luger, winning the NWA United States Championship. Thought that was pretty cool. Obviously, love Ric Flair. Wish we could focus more a little bit about how NWA definitely helped. I feel like it kind of really, honestly, really did shape the WWE, and of course, from the Jim Crockett Promotions, which eventually became WCW. So the NWA is still around, to this day. Definitely going to do a little more research on this because you never know. There could be a superstar in NWA right now that could be the person who dethrones Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship. You may never know. You may never know. Could happen. Could happen. Next, we have 2000 WCW Slamboree. The main event featured WCW champion David Arquette defending his title in a triple threat match, in a triple cage match against Diamond Dallas Page and Double J, or Jeff Jarrett. David Arquette turned on his ally, Diamond Dallas Page, letting Double J get the win. After the match, Mike Awesome threw Chris Kanyon from the top of the third cage through the stage, and ultimately it kind of left bad taste in the mouths of wrestling fans who attended, because Owen Hart died in that same arena almost a year to that day. So I thought, bad timing, bad idea. WCW booking, bad idea, and it was just tragic, definitely tragic. But it happened today on May 7th. So yeah, that was our Tuesdays today in wrestling. And also just a couple of we also have a couple birthdays today. We have Will Ospreay, who was actually born in 1993. I can't believe I'm older than this guy, because sometimes I watch him and I'm like, oh my god, that guy looks like he peaked, bro. But I peaked. I'm just kidding. No, like I'm 19. I'm a 1992 baby. Luckily, I was able to kind of soak up a little bit of what the 90s had to offer, especially in terms of cartoons and TV shows and stuff like that. I remember when SpongeBob, made its debut to television, and I totally said that like a wrestling promo guy, like SpongeBob makes his much anticipated debut to Nick. Look, no, just kidding, man. But no, and I don't know. I just remember TV being a lot better back then. And to be honest, music lately has not been turning me the right way. But like I said, here to talk about wrestling. Here to talk about wrestling. Don't get too crazy. So Will Ospreay's birthday is today. Also, Owen Hart. Owen Hart's birthday is today. So, rest in peace. You know, uh, definitely still sending prayers to the Hart family. Owen Hart was an amazing individual, great guy to work with. What I've heard from, articles in wrestling and stuff like that. If I was a wrestler, that would be pretty cool to work with Owen Hart. I mean, definitely. Um, if I had a bucket list of, if I was a wrestler, I'd be like, oh, definitely a triple threat match with Owen Hart and Bret Hart would be like one of the biggest dream matches. That'd be like, of course I would win, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so happy birthday. Also, happy birthday to LA Smooth. And that's Lloyd Anoa. His cousins are Roman Reigns, Rikishi Umaga, Yokozuna. So, part of the bloodline. So, of course, you had to acknowledge that. So, Tuesdays today in wrestling history is in the history books. Also in the history books is this episode. Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys liked it. Hope I wasn't, hope my brief tardiness didn't, stir any people away. Like I said before, I am a college student. Definitely got done with finals today. Super excited. The only thing that kind of sucked was that it took a little longer than expected. And I got in the car, and of course, in comes the red lights. And I'm like just sitting at the stoplight, like I'm going crazy, absolutely going crazy. But thank you guys so much for being troopers. Definitely going to be on time and ready to talk about wrestling tomorrow. And guys, don't be afraid to hit that tips and donations link at the GSMC podcast on that, so we can talk about some wrestling. Definitely a lot of things going down in wrestling right now. I would have loved to see what you guys thought about WrestleMania being in Las Vegas, but hopefully we can break off the training wheels of communication and, not be a little too shy next time. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to Superman like and subscribe. Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference at the GSMC Sports Network. We love peace, love, and positivity all the way, 1,010%. And we also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter /X, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you guys once again. Like I said, if I haven't made you a wrestling fan by now, we have basketball, football, baseball, basically anything under the sun in terms of sports, in terms of entertainment. So, don't be afraid to be a part of this bloodline that we have here over at the GSMC podcasting, because like I said before, absolutely free. Check us out on YouTube. We have a bunch of media streaming channels too in audio, like iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, yada yada yada. But yeah, go ahead and give us a shot. So once again, guys, thank you so much, and hey, have a phenomenal night.